What's going on, Tamers? It's me, East, and I've crawled out of my BT18 deck building hermit cave for just a moment to talk about probably the most exciting part about the Digimon card game, the rules. Anyway, to give a bit more detail, the EX06 Infernal Ascension set released with a ton of cards with new effects. And probably during your own games, or when you're theory crafting decks, you'll have some questions about some of these effects or how they work in very specific situations. And so in this video, I want to take a look at a few cards from this set to give you a better understanding of the rules surrounding them, and to help you become a better Digimon player in the process. So let's dive in. The first card that I want to take a look at is going to be the Lucemon from the EX06 set, and more importantly, his end turn effect once per turn, which says by placing one of your level 6 Digimon on top of your security stack, this Digimon may Digivolve into Lucemon Chaos Mode in your trash without paying the cost. And the question here might be, if you use his end of turn effect to actually stack a level 6 Digimon on top of your security, do you have to evolve into the Lucemon Chaos Mode? Maybe you just want to recover in some cases, or maybe you don't even have a Lucemon Chaos Mode in your trash to begin with. The answer here is no, you're not actually required to evolve into the Lucemon Chaos Mode. Because the second part of the effect says that you may do something, you can do the first part of the effect while choosing to do or not to do the second part of the effect. This means that in cases where you actually don't have the Lucemon Chaos Mode in the trash, you can still use this effect. Keep in mind what makes the second part of this effect optional is the use of the word may here. Where you see may, you choose to do or not to do something. The Shakamon quartet of cards released in EX6 such as Chohakaimon, Sanzomon, Sagomon, and Gokumon all have an all turns effect that say when this Digimon would leave the battle area, return one yellow Digimon card from its Digivolution cards to the hand. You probably might be wondering, what does leaving the battle area actually mean? And given the way this is worded, it might not actually be super obvious. When we have an effect that says when X would leave the battle area, it refers to the following cases: whenever this Digimon would be placed in the trash, returned to your hand or your deck, placed in security, moved to the breeding area, or, what's really crazy to me, is placed under another card. What this means is that effects like Arrestor Digimon's Superior Mode would actually trigger this all turns effect. Additionally, Digicrossing does as well. I want to repeat that just to be a little bit clearer. If you have a card on the board and you use it as Digicross material, it is considered as leaving the battle area. On the opposite side, however, if you DNA Digivolve a Digimon on the board, it is actually not counted as leaving the battle area. These next two rulings come from one of the most interesting cards printed in EX6 in my opinion, and that is Raiji Ludomon. He has a hand main effect that says by paying 2 costs and placing this card as one of your Legend Arms trait or one of your level 5 Digimon's bottom Digivolutions card, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon gains start of your main phase, this Digimon attacks. Now, you might be wondering, well, what if I put this effect on a Digimon that has another effect that says it can't attack or it can't suspend? Well, in this case, are you able to even give that Digimon this effect? And the answer to that is actually yes. However, keep in mind that even with the effect placed, they won't be able to attack. And while I think that that situation is pretty unlikely to happen in a game, I think this next ruling is going to be a lot more likely with cards like Magnamon X Antibody. The question is, what happens if you use this Raiji Ludomon on a Magnamon X who is currently unaffected by effects? The good news here is that Digimon who are unaffected by effects can still be targeted by effects, which means you can use the Raiji Ludomon here to still target an unaffected Magnamon X Antibody, and then when the turns change over and he loses his protection, he still has this like sticker of an effect on him and he still must attack at the start of their main phase, assuming that his invincibility hasn't been reactivated by the time he needs to attack. This is a really good way to force an opponent's Magnamon X to attack without being able to set up the protection first. This also opens up a lot of options for you to use ace cards to actually destroy the Magnamon X before it can gain protection as well. EX6's level 3 Skymon has a really cool inheritance effect that says on your opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks by deleting one of your other Digimon, end the attack. Now the question here is, if I end their attack using this effect, can they activate their own when attacking effects, or does it stop those from happening also? The answer here is no, unfortunately. The attack still is considered to have occurred, so they get to use their when attacking effects first, and then you have the option to delete one of your Digimon to end the attack. As an added bit of info here, when you do end the attack using Skymon's effect, end of attack effects also still get to process and occur. So just keep in mind that even if you do end their attack with the Skymon's effect here, they're still going to get all of their when attacking effects and all of their end of attack effects as well. This next one is for all these 7th grade Demon Lord fans out there, and this one focuses on the EX06 Creepymon, who has an on play and when digivolving effect that says delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Trash as many cards in the top of your deck as the level of the Digimon this effect deleted. So for example, if you delete a level 4, you trash 4 cards. If you delete a level 6, then you trash 6 cards. But what if you trash a Digimon that doesn't have a level, in the case of something like the EX2 Kalumon? Well, unfortunately, that means you don't get to trash any cards. Rest in peace. Many of the 7th grade Demon Lord cards share an all turns effect that says when this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by battle, place one 7th grade Demon Lord's trait card from your trash as the bottom Digivolution card of your Gate of Deadly Sins in the breeding area. Now the question around this situation is, can I actually place this card itself as the bottom Digivolution source of the Gate of Deadly Sins with its effect? The unfortunate answer here is no, you cannot. When this Digimon would leave the battle area means that technically it has not left the battle area yet, and as a result, it's not technically in the trash, and so you cannot place the card itself underneath the Gate of Deadly Sins. In this case, you have to choose another card that's already in the trash to satisfy this effect. And so armed with this newfound knowledge, we're going to wrap this one up. Hope this information is useful when you're either cooking up decks, or if one of these situations arises during one of your games. Also, do you know of any other cool, interesting, or unusual rulings in the game? If you do, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.